Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning if you're watching it in the morning. This is the second episode of our Time to Shine podcast, and we are towards the end of celebrating LGBT History Month, actually. And the theme for this one is Mind, Body and Spirit. So between Liv, Mel, Rohan and myself, we're going to be discussing how sort of lockdowns affected us a little bit in regards to mind, body and spirit. There's no set agenda. We're just going to talk around the room on each of these topics and see where the conversation takes us. So to kick it off, I'm going to go to Rohan to keep it fresh. Do you want to discuss a little bit about body?
Yeah, and body. What can I say about my body? It's gone to pot over lockdown. I can tell you that much. My blood sugars have risen, so I'm very conscious about my body. And as you may have seen, I had some water by my side to rehydrate, and I've been very, as I said, conscious about my body over the last few months during lockdown, and I have actually finally got my New Year's resolution off the ground. And for the last few weeks, I've been doing some exercises. Thank you. That were given to me by my personal trainer, whose name shall be anonymous because no advertising on Fujitsu TV. So I've been doing three. Sorry?
PM me for details.
So I've been doing his workouts at home, and I've got my exercise bike coming, which is a big relief because I've got nowhere to hang my clothes now at the moment. So as soon as it comes, some of my daytime attire and my nighttime attire can be housed accordingly. But yeah, on a serious note, I do like to walk regularly as well, and I built that into my exercise program. And tonight, if I'm really up for it, I might even try jogging. But that's it. I mean, I have been trying to look after my body, and I encourage all of you out there who may be watching this podcast to look after yourselves and get those pheromones working, because that helps your mind as well. That's what it means for me. And I've rambled on for far too long. So I will post you across to the delightful person on my left, who is Liv.
It's funny because I'm on the other side on my screen, so you were just like pointing to nothing.
Liv's on my left.
Yeah.
You're below me, which is why I was doing this. But that's a very expensive clothes hose, Rohan.
It is £129 worth of expensive clothes. No.
I want to know what this nighttime attire is, but we'll come back to that. Do you hand it over to Liv?
Yes, because I decided I'm on top of Mel, figuratively speaking, in this gallery view, but so I thought I'd go across.
Okay.
Well, in terms of body, for me, actually, hasn't changed much, because I'm quite a home person anyway. I don't really go out on walks and stuff like that. So for me, it's not really changed much, other than the fact that I don't have a daily commute anymore. So, I mean, to combat that, I have been doing stretches a few times a week, just making sure I'm keeping myself, fit, flexible.
Getting out of the bed, going to the bathroom.
No. I have a set of stretches that I actually do. That I used to. It's just a set of really basic stretches that I used to do for warm up for gymnastics, and I just do those. It takes about 20 minutes or something. I do it a few times a week. But yeah. So I'm quite curious to hear about what's actually changed for you guys in lockdown, because for me personally it hasn't changed that much. Well, in terms of body anyway. So I guess let's throw it to you, Mel.
Wow. We were just talking about this yesterday. I'm really, really, really missing the social side of my exercise classes. So we were talking about, it's not, we can do Zumba and we can do exercise classes on YouTube in the sitting room and jump around all you like, as I call it, jumping around the sitting room in an evening. But still do it a couple of times a week. But what I'm really missing is that having to leave my desk, having to leave home, go to a class, which then means that you're kind of then meeting people from the class, you're kind of getting together, you're finding out what they've been doing in the week, and you kind of build friendships up. And so that's something I really like about our classes, is there's a regular group that always go, and they've become friends. And so even though you talk online and things, and you see their Facebook posts and things, it's just not the same as kind of getting together. And I think that's starting to wear a little bit now. It's getting really difficult. Even over Zoom, it's just not the same. I think that's the side I'm missing the most, is the social side of the exercise. I'm walking the dogs longer, but now the night's getting a bit longer. They're not getting a bit longer, they're getting a bit lighter.
Lighter, days are getting longer.
Yeah, I've given up sweets, chocolate, alcohol, and crisps for Lent. Kill me now.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why
Yeah,
not one? But hey,
it's called. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. The figure is still not getting thinner.
So we need to ask you at the end of Lent how your body, mind, and spirit is after abstaining from all these things for that long.
I'll get to the mind. I can tell you about the fridge.
I assume, Mel, while you're walking the dogs, you give them Walker's crisps, do you?
Oh yeah.
Boom, boom. Walker's crisps, get it?
What a botch.
All the supply, you can probably see them in the top right hand of the screen.
Other branded crisps are available
They are.
on Fujitsu TV.
Definitely. I know what you mean about the classes, Mel. I used to do two or three classes a week with our local instructor, and luckily she's sort of gone online and does them on Zoom. So sort of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the moment, which is quite nice. You get to meet the regulars and have a little chat before, not so much after, because everybody's knackered usually. And I do a mixture of step class, so club cardio, which used to be called disco light, which is really cool. When we used to go into a room and there'd be disco balls around, and then once you got the routine set, you turn the lights off and it's just the disco lights that are ongoing. So that's really cool. And then something called piloxing, which is an interesting one. It makes the people that go on stay and laugh, because I always have to dial off to do my class, and then sometimes I come back, sometimes I don't.
What's stay in?
The stay in is the monthly LGBT, or Fujitsu Pride, I should say, social get together in an evening. Happens on a Friday, sort of every 4 weeks or once a month. The usual suspects attend and just have a chat, have a drink, discuss loads of different things. But yeah, the exercise class sometimes gets in the way. So, but I have to do it. The body's not as fit as it used to be. Definitely missing the gym, but going for walks and things like that help. Trying to eat healthily, trying to cook more rather than getting takeaways as well, which also is helping a little bit, I think, but I'm not sure. So as for mind, again, the daily walks is sort of like debrief after work. Just go for a wander around, put the world to rights, that sort of thing.
So you do that with somebody?
Yeah, usually with Paul, my other half.
Right, okay.
Don't tend to go for walks on my own. It's just a bit boring, really. And then once we're able to properly meet friends again to go for walks, we'll pick that up with our neighbours and some other friends that are local. Got a big thank you to Jonathan Britton for introducing me to Jay's virtual pub quiz on YouTube. Other pub quizzes are available. We'll say that now. Put that disclaimer in. They're every Thursday and Saturday night, and I really enjoy them. So 5 rounds, and it just keeps the brain ticking over a little bit outside of work. And I like quizzes on TV. The Chase, Tipping Point, usual ones, House of Games, anything like that. I will watch. Not so good on University Challenge, but if I can get one question in an episode right, I'm quite happy.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, tick, got that one. Yeah.
Do you watch Only Connect? Only Connect is my favourite.
Yeah, I quite like Only Connect as well.
It's really good.
Yeah.
John, I don't wish to make you feel jealous, but sometimes I manage to get 2 right in university challenge.
2, wow.
Yeah, that's because he's been doing the crossword for a lot longer than you on the Times.
Maybe it is that.
Yeah, cheers.
So I'm gonna go back to Mel now to see what she's been doing, just as she was about to have a drink.
Yeah.
How's your mind?
Yeah, blown.
Completely blown.
I'll be honest, I'm struggling a little bit. Just the monotony. I'm a workaholic at the best of times. And not having, as I mentioned before, that excuse to leave is just, I'm finding more difficult. You know, when I've got a class to go to, I've got to leave my desk, I've got to leave home. I'm staying, I work in this kitchen, you know, and I love my kitchen, but I cook in the kitchen, I work in the kitchen, and a lot of my evenings are spent in the kitchen, and it just feels a little bit like I spend my life in this, as much as I love my kitchen.
Yeah.
It's just like becoming a bit too much. And I need to escape. It's just kind of that locked inness. I'm blessed to have a nice outside and you know, sort of in the middle of nowhere, and I can get out, and I've been walking the dogs and things further. But and Sarah and I have been talking about things, you know, while we've been walking, but I don't know. It's kind of getting a bit much now. That same conversation, as much as I love chatting to my partner and doing, you know, it's not like that. I think it's just that having somebody different to talk to, it kind of gets too much. It's not reflection on them, but you just kind of want that other social interaction. I miss sort of meeting my girlfriends for coffee. I probably spend more time talking on meetings and things than I would normally, just because I want that other adult contact. Not in my normal social circle.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling that way, especially if they're living in a house share and they're working from their bedrooms, living in their bedrooms, a shared kitchen. You don't want to spend time there and that sort of thing. So it's getting out, getting into the offices that definitely does help with that sort of mindset, speaking to somebody else.
You know, I mean, I've always been home based, so it's not just the office, but I think it's that different adults, it's that different viewpoints, that different perspective. Yeah, it's just the highlight of my day is going shopping, and it's now a dangerous sport. In 2021, who knew that shopping would be a dangerous sport? You could die from what you could catch. It's scary.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll start to have some kind of normality this year. But from a mind perspective, I've been watching Love at First. No, it's not Love at First Sight. It's Married at First Sight. I've got to say, it's frustrating, but I guess it's that having something to talk about that's different, that's not in your circle. It's not to do with work. It's not that. And I guess because the two of us watch it, we then get angry together about it. We get frustrated. It's a different thing to talk about.
And sometimes you see how good your relationships actually are compared to what's going on there as well. Oh my goodness.
I do think it does help your own relationships in some ways. Yeah. It makes you think about what's important. Yeah. And what you do in your relationship that maybe you shouldn't. Anyway, I've waited for long enough. Liv.
I think I'm quite lucky in the fact that I've been able to like set up a little desk area in my bedroom. So I kind of have that separation of work and like home.
All right, okay.
Yeah. And like, you know, like on a Friday when I'm done, I just close my work laptop and I move it to the side and I just forget about it. So I've been quite lucky in that regards, but I get you with the whole sort of being trapped just with one person in the same house, having to talk to the same person in real life. I think that's probably something a lot of people are feeling a burnout with. I guess to overcome that, I've just been trying to socialize more online
Yeah.
with, like, people from work and my home friends. Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like before all this started, like I was never like, video calling anyone. I was only ever, talking to them face to face or just like WhatsApp chat or something. But like because obviously restrictions now, we've had to change the way that we talk to people, that we meet people. And I guess my strategy was just go all in with it. Yeah. And I mean, my mum and we watch a lot of TV together, so I guess that's like what you were talking about, watching Married at First Sight. It kind of just brings something new in. So we're always watching like quiz shows, like as John mentioned, The Chase, a good one, Only Connect, Pointless.
Do you like the
Yeah.
fact that you have Celebrity Chase and then you have Pointless Celebrities, rather than it being Celebrity Pointless
Yeah.
Pointless Celebrities? We always find that funny. 'Cause quite a lot of the time it's like, who are they?
Quite a lot of the time it's a bit embarrassing for them, I'll say.
Never understand what Pointless is about. It just came across as
Pointless.
pointless. Yeah.
I've never seen Pointless. I have no
Have
idea
you
what
not?
it's about.
No,
I
don't
would recommend it. It's pretty fun.
I know about The Chase, but I've kind of not really watched it.
Oh, he's even got the book. What don't you have, John?
Suggestions on the postcard.
What's that? I didn't know there was a card game.
Yeah.
Dang.
Trying to see what else I've got. I can't, yeah.
And what else is there? Oh.
Not a fan.
Not really.
Sorry.
There's
Ready to-
also Tenable. Tenable's a really good one.
Yeah, it is. It is quite good, that one. Definitely.
With Warwick Davis.
Yeah. It's certainly interesting, the answers that some of those people give.
Mel's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What
I
else?
just think you guys have got way too much time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Somebody's working all the time, Rowan, aren't they?
Here they are.
Yeah. So how's your mind? Liv, have you finished? Sorry.
I mean, I could talk more about just pointless TV that I watch and stupid video games that I'm playing.
We'll save that for another one.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
I mean, my mind is, it's interesting listening to, all of you, how you're coping with this. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, because the mind, I guess, is quite complex, and it's quite a strange thing in any case. But for me, I thought I was doing okay, but I guess I mean, I've like everyone, like, John, Mel, you've got your partners, and Liv, you've got your mum. I've got my partner here as well, but my partner goes to work, so when I see him, it's in the evening, so there isn't that partner fatigue as such. But work has, I think, because there's a bit of a void now, you don't go out to socialize. Work seems to have stepped into that void, but I'm not quite happy about that. I don't want my life to be consumed by work, because you need other stimulation as well. But I mean, I try to keep in contact with people through Zoom, through Zoom calls. I speak to my mum regularly, some friends, and that can also make a bit of, if you like, eye fatigue as well. And I was speaking to Mel earlier today and saying, I can see my health my vision has gone bad. My eyesight's got a bit worse because of that constant, keeping in contact through Zoom calls and various other I mean WhatsApp video calls and other things. I mean, I still go for my walks, and I do have various callers come to my, well, not callers, but people like friends, when they go past, they sort of say, "Oh, come to the gate. I'm just outside your house," and I go, go and sort of have a chat with them. So Yeah, John, I hope I'm not competing with your pussycat there for mine. Yeah,
Your attention, yeah.
yeah, for attention. So yeah, so it's been a bit of a been a bit of a strange one, because I'm now starting to lose track of days as well. I wake up and I think, is today Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Do I need to do this report for today? Do I need to know? And then when I log on, I can see, oh, Outlook says it's Wednesday, so it's Wednesday, and this is what I need to do. But yeah, I do.
It's like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I mean, at 7 o'clock today, we'll find out what the new shape of things are, and I'd like to be able to sort of meet people. I know some of my friends have found it a really big struggle, and some of them haven't coped very well with this thing, and it's just a bit of a. I mean, my heart goes out for all those people who are living by themselves and who feel a sense of isolation because of that lack of human contact. And I just wonder whether I'll lose all the social graces when it comes to mixing again, because at the moment, my partner and I, when we eat food, we just go like this into the plate, and if we suddenly go out, to a restaurant with a group of friends, I just suddenly go like this, just tuck into the salad, like that. Not really very, I don't think I was brought up like that, but yeah, this is what I've evolved into.
You're going to say you've forgotten how to use a knife and fork?
Use it, but not properly. So that's
you get the soup and you're like, what's a spoon? And you just start using your hand.
Elif, I still know how to use my cutlery and my chopsticks.
Ooh, cutlery.
Oh, and some
We're made to be seen.
Sorry.
So that's my mind. Then I hope I haven't blown everyone's minds by going on about it.
I don't think so. Do you want to carry on with spirit as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got my gin here. Oh, sorry, you mean a different sort of piss.
That's my spirit, not yours.
And for anyone watching senior management, I am not drinking on the job. I hasten to water.
After hours, you're all right.
Water. At least I'm drinking gin out of a bottle that you can't tell.
Oh,
I mean water. Sorry.
So in terms of spirit, spirit's interesting because we define it. We all have a different definition, I guess, of spirit, and I try to think of spirituality when I think of spirit, and the spirit as well. You're like having a strong spirit to muster through the challenges in life. So from that point of view, I mean, spirituality is quite important to me. I like going to church and to pray. So sometimes meditate. Well, meditate is probably slightly different, but I like to sort of reflect on things. And, you can't really do that, I find, at home. So, I mean, in theory, churches are still open, but I'm just a bit anxious about going because sometimes, social distancing, people's behaviors could compromise your own position. And I have to think about the people, the people who are near to me and dear to me, they're not compromising their health. But I think I will have, now that you brought it up, John, I think I will have some spirits tonight of the whiskey kind. I'm kidding. So, yeah, I'm just conscious of time. So, Mel, what does it mean to you, spirits?
Well, I guess for me, but body, mind, and spirit, I'm two minds. I'm with you about spirituality. I think it's very important to people. It's certainly important to me. What my belief is. It's certainly fundamental to who I am as a person and my identity. And I've been not going to church, but I've been going to online services to fulfill that. But it's not the same, as you say, because you've got those other distractions as well. The dogs, for example, I disappeared off while I let them out the back door a minute. They sort of, you don't have that in your place of worship. So,
Mel, so sorry to interrupt. I do find that the little prayer group that you've got going is quite good. It does lift my spirits up.
Happy the gym.
Sorry?
Would that be the gym?
So what's that prayer club that you've got? What happens there?
So there's a number of us in Fujitsu that are people of faith, and we meet to pray together for Fujitsu, but for also just generally people's needs and things at lunchtime on a Friday.
Yeah. And is that different religions?
At the moment, it's mainly Christians, but it's open. It's not it's on a closed group, and we have a Yam place where you can post as well.
Yeah. And if there are sort of non-religious people out there that would be interested, can they come along and have a listen or whatever?
Absolutely. We're always, like I say, it's open to anybody.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, as long as people are respectful, obviously, because we're there.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And then spiritual, I guess for me, it's about community, the spirit of community. So some of the things we've been doing in Fujitsu Pride are kind of ways of bringing not just the Pride community, but I'm really proud of how our community has rallied through this time together. You mentioned earlier about staying our virtual Zoom, but we have lots of things going on. On a Thursday, we meet for half an hour or sometimes a bit longer, every other Thursday for a virtual brew. And it's just nice to talk about stuff that's not work. It's not necessarily LGBT, even though it's the LGBT group that it's primarily focused on. We've got allies, we've got people from different networks coming along. It is open to anyone. And it's just having about time together where we're not talking about the usual day stuff. It's a bit like when you go to the canteen, you have a coffee or a cup of tea, you might say, oh, I've not seen you for a while, what are you working on day to day? But then you'll suddenly move on to how's the family, what we do at the weekend, what you've got planned, where you're going on holiday. It's those kind of conversations that really, we get to have in our sort of virtual brew session. I think that's good. I think we all need that.
But I'd hope you weren't asking where people are going on holiday currently.
Well, why not? You can plan holidays still. You might not be going very soon, but you can
dream.
I've got a holiday next week, and I'm so looking forward to staying at home. I can't wait.
Very good. And with regards to like lifting your spirits and that sort of thing, some things that keep me quite grounded. You've just seen one on the screen. She's still on my knee. Is that when you have pets and things like that, they've got unconditional love. They don't know what's going on outside. See, she's here now. Look at him.
You give them food, they love you back.
Yeah, and it's like she just wants to come and have a fuss, and so she doesn't care what's going on outside as long as she gets her fuss as her food, and she can sleep. And just annoy me when I'm on Zoom calls, which is fine. I need to open the door for her now because she wants to get out. But I think that they lift your spirits. They really do, and with dogs as well.
And I think a psychologist did say sometimes stroking an animal or a pet can be quite therapeutic as well. And I find stroking my cats, just like you, John, can be quite therapeutic.
Yeah, so you're there and watching the TV. I just get on your knee and fall asleep, and yeah, it's nice.
I mean, like they have therapy, like dogs and stuff that go into hospitals and things like that. Like there's very scientifical proven benefits of having pets and animals.
Why have you not got your rat then? So why have you not got a rat yet?
Because my mum doesn't want a rat in the house.
It's conditional.
Have you seen the cat cafes that are springing up all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't be open at the moment, obviously, but
I haven't been to one before, but I do want to go to one at some point when they reopen.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got it's just yourself then, Liv, to talk about spirit, and then are you going to give us a preview of what's coming up on the next podcast?
Yay. So I guess in terms of spirit, I'm not a religious person, so to me spirit means sort of about inner strength and just like resilience. So for me that's mostly been just kind of connecting with the people around me and keeping myself grounded that way. And over the last year, there's been a lot of protests and events going on around the world, and so I've had to sort of make a weird balance between supporting those causes but not getting too deeply emotionally involved with them, because there is a certain limit to things that you can and can't affect.
Yeah.
And so and I guess I've mostly been channeling that through just listening to music. That might be a really weird thing to say, but for me, like, music is one of the most important ways for me to kind of communicate and relate to stuff. So
so it's definitely an interesting one, the word spirit and what it means to different people.
If like you, sometimes I find that listening to Tchaikovsky or Beethoven after a tough day can really calm me down.
Classical music, I'm not biased or sort of I'm not going to kick you out because of classical music. I love classical music too.
We all have different tastes, and I think the other thing is different. You might like a specific type of music or genre, but actually you might find something else out of that normal that's sort of soothing. I have the radio on, you can probably hear it because I forgot to turn it down, but I have radio on all the time, and I probably only listen to 10% of it in the day, but it's that company. But the music's on all the time, and I'm listening to stuff, and then we will finish the day and we'll put Spotify on. We probably listen to various music, and depending on the mood or depending on what your Spotify list is, there are other music channels available then. But you might be listening to, you might be in a bad mood, and you'll be putting something on that's either really upbeat that you kind of, or something that makes you angry or whatever else. You might be a bit sad. Rohan's having a flash.
He's getting ready for his meeting in a minute.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, it does definitely change your mood. Music has a massive impact on your mood.
Definitely.
Thank you, Liv.
Right, I've got a cat back. So, Liv, do you want to close out then?
She's returned for the ending.
Yes.
So, what have we got coming up this week? We've got on Wednesday, we have our media club. So any Fujitsu colleagues, fellow friends watching this, feel free to come along and join us. We'll be talking about the film Pride. That's Wednesday lunchtime.
The 24th, just in case you're watching it after that day.
Yeah.
John, your cat's tail is really putting me off.
Rohan, stop it.
Carry on.
Where's my eye roll emoji?
I think focus on you, Liv, not John's cat's tail. Yeah.
Also, our next episode is probably coming up in the middle of March-ish. So that'll be just before, hopefully, Trans Day of Visibility. And we'll have some sort of discussion probably about it on the next podcast, and maybe a special guest. Who knows?
Ooh.
You'll have to tune in to find out next time.
Liv, I'm already looking forward for next time.
Maybe a special introduction by a certain someone.
Well, I wonder who's going to do that. Whose turn is it next? Cool.
So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. It's been great catching up.
Yes, thanks everyone, and we will see you again soon.
Take care of yourselves.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.